We've got a tale of two pivots this week, and these might be reluctant pivots. I'm not quite sure, but the first is from Michael Saylor, and I don't know if this is a full pivot, so we'll let the audience decide. But of course, in the past, Michael Saylor has been a laser-eyed maxi. Let's say he's been
mono asset maxi. Yeah,
there is no second best. He has been.
How many chairs are you sitting on right now?
How many chairs are you sitting on right now? Can you sit on 2 chairs? No. Can you hold more than one
Ironically,
crypto
Ryan
asset?
has a chair behind him as he sits on a different chair.
I have multiple chairs. I have an entire couch behind us. Of course, you can have multiple chairs in your house. Anyway, that was old Saylor. And he sounded a little bit like this. This is Michael Saylor. Let's play a clip from 3 weeks ago of Michael Saylor. I think he was talking here about the potential for the Ethereum ETF. Let's play this.
When Ethereum is not going to be approved, sometime this summer, it'll be very clear to everyone that Ethereum is deemed a crypto asset security, not a commodity. After that, you're going to see that Ethereum, BNB, Solana, Ripple, Cardano, everything down the stack is just a crypto asset security unregistered. None of them will ever be wrapped by a spot ETF. None of them will be accepted by Wall Street. None of them will be accepted by mainstream institutional investors as crypto assets. This is the one universal consensus accepted institutional grade crypto asset in the world. There won't be another one.
He was very certain of that.
How things change. Wow.
Just 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. This came out very recently. This was on Peter McCormick's What Bitcoin Did podcast, post ETF approval. Let's hear from him again.
Yeah, Michael Saylor.
And, so here's what I think. I think 2 weeks before, the world looked like Bitcoin was going to be the only asset securitized and offered as a spot ETF by the Wall Street establishment. And it was going to spread as the one legitimate crypto asset. I think right now, the best expectation is the crypto asset class will be legitimized, supported by both parties. There's an industry. Crypto is an asset class. There's an entire range of use cases, 24/7 digital trading, digital art, NFTs, tokens, decentralized this, functionality, DeFi. There's a lot of things that will be considered in a more open light. And Bitcoin will be the leader of the crypto asset class. And if you look at it and say, well, is this good for Bitcoin or not? Yeah, I think it's good for Bitcoin. I think, in fact, it may be better for Bitcoin because I think that we are politically much more powerful, supported by the entire crypto industry, right? They obviously have a lot of political power, a lot of users, and they serve as another line of defense for Bitcoin. So I think instead of someone saying, well, there's one crypto asset, maybe I'll allocate 1% of my money to it, I think mainstream investors might say, oh, there's a crypto asset class now, and maybe we'll allocate 5% or 10% of the crypto asset class, but Bitcoin will be 60% or 70% of that. So I actually think it could accelerate institutional adoption.
We're back to indexing.
It's good for marketing. Yeah, there'll be all these other things that'll happen, and you just kind of have to rethink, all of your models and move forward in a new world.
Well, I don't feel like I need to rethink many models here, but this is maybe Michael Saylor rethinking his model of there is only one crypto asset. And it's funny to me that it took the Ethereum ETF to just have him pull a 180 on this. How do you make sense of that?
I don't know if he is fully pulling a 180. He's very much still a Bitcoiner, but it is a tampering of his tone. And it's also a Big Tent mentality as well. So being a little bit more inclusive to the crypto industry, and I think discovering that maybe it's best not to fight them, but to just align with them because that helps promote Bitcoin, which is true. And I agree with
do you think maybe he saw how powerful politically the crypto faction is when they're unified and working together, and he doesn't want to fight against that current?
Yeah.
As part of it?
Definitely. Yeah.
This is Anthony Sassano making a prediction here, saying Saylor will buy ETH within the next 6 to 12 months.
Now, that's a big prediction. However, Anthony's last big prediction was that the ETH ETF was going to get approved. So I'm not in the camp of fading a Sassel prediction.
David, why wouldn't he just rationally, economically, just run the same play back? he basically did this. He started stacking Bitcoin when it like was on the cusp of kind of like regulatory approval, not a security. He could just take out all of those loans and all those bonds and start buying Ether as well.
Well, yeah,
as a beta play.
But he could also take those same things and also buy Bitcoin.
I don't know. I'm gonna actually.
It's not like he has another company that he's like, oh, I'll just run this playbook with some other company that I have for ETH. Like he only has one fuel tank.
I'm gonna give this some high probability here. I think
above 50%.
Right. Above 50% in 6 to 12 months.
MicroStrategy owns Bitcoin by the end of 12 months. Oh, excuse me, of Ether.
Yeah.
Oof! Wow, that would be bullish.
Let me just also make it another call. Michael Saylor, I think, should just come on Bankless. He hasn't been on Bankless before. That's when that will be the signal that the Band-Aid's been ripped off, that the hatchet is buried with like Ethereum hating. If he comes on Bankless and gives us the case of why Ethereum is good for Bitcoin, we'll do that podcast for sure.
I don't know if he wants to give that take. I don't know if he wants to give that take.
Well, he will when he's ready to buy Ether, I think.
Yes,
maybe shortly after.
If he is buying Ether, then he will likely also come on the podcast. To continue leveling up your crypto game, then you need to get on the Bankless newsletter. It's the world's most popular crypto email and is completely free. Just click below to sign up.